As we wait for the final two cards to come out for Cyberstorm Access, let's take a look at the ones that we already know. There's a total of 6. We're still missing one monster and one spell. So first off, we have Full Active Duplex. Now, Full Active Duplex is a level 9 Wind Cybers effect monster that's 2800 attack, 1000 defense, and you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can banish 2 linked monsters from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. Your linked monsters can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Cybers monster you control. It gains 1000 attack. This is a interesting extender for the deck because you could special summon it by banishing 2 links from your graveyard, which is absolutely fine. And if you have Pentastag in this, things can go pretty wild. Now, after that, let's get into some fun ones. We have Harvest Angel of Doom. It is a Dark Fairy Pendulum scale of 8. Level 4, 1800, 1000. If you guys don't know what this is off of, this is based off of Harvest, or what's it called? Harvest Angel of Wisdom. So now we have the opposite one. It's just like how they did the Crater Venus and the opposite version of Venus. But let's get right into it. First off, we have during your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add 1 Black Horn of Heaven from your deck to your hand. That is the Pendulum effect, and you can only use that once per turn. And the monster effect. You can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special or pendulum summoned, you can add 1 Horn of Heaven from your deck to your hand. If this card is tributed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. So this is really helping out pendulum counter fairy decks because it's a scale of 8. Now we can pendulum summon level 4s all the way up to level 7s. But also being able to get a Black Horn of Heaven or even a Horn of Heaven is quite nice. I wish Grand Horn of Heaven was included, but then again, this is to support old cards, so that is one thing, in my opinion, that is very interesting. But I will definitely run this as a card in the counter fairy deck because it's actually very useful. After that, we have Sasuke Tama. It is a 3rd Tama monster. We have Nikotama, and the other one, I forgot the name, but it is a level 4 fairy spirit effect monster, 400 attack, 900 defense. It cannot be special summoned, and you can only use the first and second effect, or first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand immediately after this resolves. Normal summon 1 spirit monster from your hand. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was normal or flip face up this turn, return it to the hand. If this card is tributed, you can target 1 spirit monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. It can add itself back, and it can add Nikotama back, it can add the other Tama back. So this is actually a very good support for spirits because they definitely need the support, and in my opinion, it's a really good card. After that, we have Yukai Nai Reno Kitsunebi Yarara. That is definitely a name, and I know that I butchered it. It is a Fire Warrior monster that's level 3, 200 attack, 1900 defense. And you can only use the second effect as the card's name once per turn. All face-up monsters become fire on the field. Pretty good. If this card is in your graveyard and your opponent has a fire monster on the field or in their graveyard, you can special summon this card. So in Fire Warrior, you can use this as an extender if it's in the graveyard, but also if they ash you, you have another extender if you really need to. Next up, we have Ringoworm, the 100 Apple Dragon. It is a level 2 Dragon Tuner effect with 100 attack and 1100 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is face up, if there is a face up non-effect monster on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So pretty much you're wanting to run this with Material Actor. Understandable. During your turn, the turn you synchro summon a synchro monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special 100 Apple Token Worm, light level 2, attack 100, defense 100. If this token is used for synchro material, it can be used as a tuner. So you're getting 2 bodies out of it for 1. And this is actually a really crazy card if you can pull it off. Sure, you have things like Dragon Link that could potentially play it, but I'd rather play it in other things. So we could definitely see what people are going to do with this. And finally, we have Pendulum Moon. It is a La Moon retrain for a level 1 Pendulum monster. It's a spellcaster pendulum effect, and it is a scale of 0. So you can see where that is going. So the Pendulum effect, you can only use once per turn. During your main phase, you can add one face-up Pendulum monster or Pendulum monster from your extract to your hand, then destroy this card. So you can add things like Pendulum, like the new Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. Anything that has Pendulum in the name, you can add to your hand. So that is actually very useful. It can even add itself because it doesn't exclude itself. And then you can only use the monster effects of this card name once per turn. If you have 2 cards in your Pendulum zone, you can add up to 2 face-up Pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand, each with a level between exclusive the Pendulum scales of the cards in your Pendulum zones. Also for the rest of the turn, unless you Pendulum summon after that effect, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effects of any cards in your Pendulum zones are negated. This is Beyond the Pendulum, but in a level 1 monster, so you can either choose this or Beyond the Pendulum. Would you rather Pendulum summon up to 5 cards, or would you rather just Pendulum summon 2? But I want to know what you guys think about these cards. These are actually very, very amazing. We're still waiting on Cyberstorm Access 031 and 038. So I do want to know what you guys think about these down below. But anyways, I've been Boltspider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.